Hello, everybody. We are on the air. Walter's checking his phone for whatever. I don't know. Rude. What are you digging up?
Whatever.
Oh, whatever. So, everybody, we are here. I hope you can see us and hear us okay. We have a new internet connection right now. Talk about that in a little bit. But I see that we've got a lot of people on here. So let's see who's here and say hello. Hello, Donna and Katie Crafts. Hello, Judy and Janet and Sue and Geraldine and Em is here and Jan is here. Julie M is here and Diana and Francis and Glenna and Marianne and Patsy and Brenda and green quilts galore. Marjan is here. Jen is here. So everybody's coming in right now. That's great. Don't forget to hit that like button. Just figured I'd say that since we haven't really started yet. So, it gives you something to do while you're waiting. We're just giving everybody else a couple of seconds here and then we'll get started.
Yeah, I was just checking. It's -2 here.
That's what my watch says.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah.
Usually our watches say something different.
Yeah.
It's -2 here. So that's for you Americans, that's just below 32. So
yeah,
probably around 30.
And Nancy's here and Suzanne is here. Hello to you all. And Susie K is here. Hello from rainy and windy Rockland, California. Only one neighbor's tree has landed in my backyard and about 100 feet of my daughter's fence is down.
Oh,
they're getting...
Didn't realize that it was we were getting a storm.
Yeah. Hi, Shirley. Yeah, I didn't know you guys were getting blown away out there at all. I hadn't heard anything. I haven't had the news on though.
No, I haven't either.
Well, that's too bad. I hope you're okay, Susie. Okay, so Walter's now looking it up on his phone to find out what's going on in California. So Ron's here. Hi, Ron. Well, anyways, we'll get started. So let's start with what Walter's working.
Are you rainy? Yes, I guess so.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
What am I working on?
Yeah, what are you working on? Kathy's here. Hi, Callie.
Yesterday we went on a sew day at the
club.
And so I still had a bag cut out for Christmas. So I finished some embroidery earlier this week and started making another bag. So I've got most of the bag done. I just have to line it. So from yesterday. So it's still my standard bag with embroidery on each side. So at least I've been doing something. So.
You're either behind or ahead.
Yeah, I know. So I guess I'm ahead for next year.
Yeah. So I see a few people have come in while you were showing your bag. So we've got Persida is here and Catherine from New Hampshire, U.S. I think that's what NH is New Hampshire. Janet's here. Kelly's Cruises, Crafts, and Quilts is here as well. So yeah, got a lot of people coming in today. So I hope the weather wherever you are, with the exception of California, is better than what's going on in California. Yeah, I know it's cold in some places. Stephanie is here. Hi, Stephanie.
Yeah, I want to do a different kind of bag. This is kind of the same old bag that I do.
Same old, same old.
Yeah, I've got a pattern for another bag that I wanted to try.
And what's different about that bag? The other bag?
It's more like a smaller bag that holds tools and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
It was one that I was supposed to take a class for in 2020, but I didn't get around to doing it.
Yeah, so. That's right. Got canceled out. Well, everybody's loving your bags. So I've got a couple of quickie things to show you. Oh, Mozilla is here. Hello, Mozilla. Let me see if I can get this up here on the screen for you. And here we go. So this is one that I've been working on only when we've gone for the sew days at the club. And I finally have, it's just a twin size. It hasn't got borders on it yet. I just cut the borders this morning. There are 3 borders in various widths for it. This is called Stars of Wonder is the name of the pattern. And I'm not absolutely sure where I got this one. It may have been it may be I think it's a a cozy quilts design, I think. But anyways, I think it's turning out pretty good. So once I get the borders on it, then away I'll go with it on to Lucy. And then the other thing I was working on, I actually didn't take this yesterday when we went for the sew day at the club. I took these. This is a Lemoyne Star block, and it's actually, I bought the Accuquilt die some time ago, and I hadn't used it yet. So I thought I'd give this a try. And you can see I'm making them in various colors. I'm not absolutely sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I've got them right now on my design board just to see what I've got. And I might do a secondary type of star block in here as well. And I've got some other ideas in my head. Some of it involves black and white as well, but I don't know yet. So this is make it up as you go along kind of project. But they're colorful. That's one thing you can say for it. So that's what I've been working on. And I'm trying to get this off my screen here and get back to us. And there we are. People are speaking, saying things. Kelly's Cruises says very pretty. There's no snow in Mississauga, and none here either. Persetta.
Yeah, no snow where we are in Canada either.
Yeah, and that's fabulous. Very nice. Hi, Beverly from North Carolina. Thanks, Nancy. Yep, it is turning out nice. You know me, I love bright colors. Thanks, everybody. And your quilts and bags are beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. Adam's here. Hi, Adam. Oh yeah, we're always misbehaving, Adam. And Cheryl's here from Southwestern Ontario. So that's what we have been up to, but there's other things we've been up to as well. I did an interview. Yes, I have an interview for next week, and it is with somebody who does not have a YouTube channel yet. And I'll be honest, I don't think she's on here right now, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. You'll have to see the interview on Tuesday. But she's got some fantastic quilts that she's done. And she actually has an Etsy store, which we talk about in the interview as well. But she takes us on a little tour in her house of some of her quilts that she has hanging up. And she's got some very unusual pieces. She's got a couple that are in the shape of kimonos. So that's a little hint there. And a few other things. So it was a really, really fascinating interview. And I have to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be that interesting because I knew very little about this person's background. But boy, was I surprised. Pleasantly so. So I think you're really going to enjoy that interview, and that will come out on Tuesday on the channel. Oh, M got a new machine. What? Oh, no. He's saying that Adam So's got a new machine. Yes, I saw the video about that one, about the new Juki. And I'm just seeing if I've missed anybody. Oh, I think I missed Nancy Laventure. Is it La Venture or is it Laventure? I don't know, and I don't think I'll ever know because we can't hear how it's
Al Adventure.
Al Adventure. Oh, Al Adventure. Oh, it's French. L'Aventure. I don't know. And Adam's obsessed with his new sewing machine as well. So, anyways, the interview, stay tuned for that next week. We've already talked about the club. Well, actually, there aren't very many of us.
No, it started off, usually there's at least one lady that comes all the time, but she apparently tested positive for COVID, so she didn't show up. And so there was just the guy that usually instructed my classes, and then there was the two of us. And then later on, another guy showed up, and he's just a beginner sewer. So he made an apron with the help of the guy that instructed.
And he has some really cool fabric for it. I've seen that fabric before.
Yeah, it's all multicolored Lego blocks.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So he made an apron with that, and then there was another lady that halfway through the day that I have sewn with before that came as well. So that was kind of interesting to talk
Yeah.
to her again because I hadn't seen her for a while.
Well, the apron was basically, to return to it, was a chef style apron. You know, it had an
Yeah.
adjustable, um, what do you call it?
Neck.
Neck for it.
Yeah.
Had a pocket in the front. Looked really good. Made me want to make one of those
Yeah.
with it. So yeah, it looked pretty good. And this guy, I don't think he's done much sewing at all, did he? No.
Did
Yes.
he? Yeah. No, he hasn't done a lot of sewing. In the past, all he did was hem some curtains.
Hmm.
So he hadn't really done a lot of sewing. So this was sort of like his first kind of sewing project.
Yeah, so it came out pretty good for his first project, I can tell you that. It looked good. Brandon gave him a hand with it, of course. Brandon's the instructor who puts these sew days on each month at the club as well. And so, yeah, got a lot of stuff done. It's kind of nice to be just in a little different environment to work on things and always being stuck with where your sewing machine
Yeah,
usually
and talking to some other people. So
yeah, that too. So anyways, that was a nice day yesterday. And we have had, changing the topic here, not that you will notice it, and I don't know if I'm really noticing it, but we have a new internet connection now. We upgraded to a 3.0 gigabyte system. We were running half that speed before. I'm still not completely sold as to whether or not we're really getting those speeds they advertise. Bell Canada, that's our provider. We only have two. You've heard us talk about that before, Bell and Rogers. Well, Bell is the one we go with. And you can do a speed test, and our speed test always comes up and says we're getting over 3 gigabytes per second at the modem. Now, the modem runs everything else in the house, right? And it's all wireless. So they do tell you that you might get slightly lower speeds depending on how many devices you have hooked up to your modem and all that through your Wi-Fi. And Wi-Fi tends to be a little slower than an Ethernet cable connection, which, yeah, it probably is true, but most people today don't connect their computers to an Ethernet cable. Everybody's wireless. I mean, I used to run a hybrid system. I used to run my old computer on Ethernet connection, but you got to run a cable, physically run a cable, right, from your modem. And the modem isn't even actually physically in this room. It's in the Lucy room. But anyways, there's other tests you can do, and those tests come down a lot lower than 3 gigabytes when you do it through your Wi-Fi system. So I'm really not sure what speeds we're getting, but we're paying for it. And I don't know. We'll wait and see. But anyways, they came to install the new modem. Now, I thought we could use our old modem because online it's a little bit ambiguous whether you, because of the modem that we had. But anyways, no, apparently we had to have a gigabyte modem. So they put this in. Looks very much like the same as the old one, except says gigabyte on it. The guy that came was pretty good. He actually came early. He was, they give you that window. They're going to come sometime between now and Doomsday. So he was supposed to come in the afternoon. He called up in the morning and said, hey, could he come then? I said, sure, no problem. So he came here. He did his thing. He was very good. He went around to all our televisions because our televisions are all run on the internet as well. It's what they call fiber. So fiber optical is what we're, optical fiber, whatever you call it, that we have. And so he made sure that all the TVs reset and everything was fine with that. And yeah, I got everything up and running, except it took another 2 hours for me because you don't really realize how many things you have in your house that run off of Wi-Fi.
Plus our names had to change.
Yeah.
So everything on the house had to be reset.
Everything. So our Ring security system, our Ring doorbells, all the lights in this room and lights in some other rooms had to be reconnected and set up for all of that. Outlets that I have certain plugs in that run off the Wi-Fi, like because they're timers. All the computers, all the iPads.
Adam says he gets maximum 14 megabytes download.
Whoa.
You'll be waiting for days.
Yeah. God. Well, I'm not going to complain then. But anyways, I think it is faster. And that's a good thing because, I love speed. Gotta have lots of speed. What are the people saying here? Beer has no
Mozilla said that she got COVID. Her hubby brought it back from grocery shopping.
Oh, how nice. That's great.
Did you wear a mask?
Yes. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. I need a bigger house. What's this? New machine, quilting. Computers don't have any. A lot of computers don't have an Ethernet connection. That's very true, Mark.
That's true, but a lot of them have a data port, and the data port can be connected to an Ethernet.
Yeah, because actually my new Mac does not have an Ethernet port.
But you have Lightning ports.
So yeah, well, I bought and I haven't used it.
Mm.
Yeah, I should plug it in. I got a cable. It's very conveniently running over there because I never took it away. Maybe I should just try and see if I see any difference. What else is here? That's like dial up, Adam. Yeah, it's Stephanie. That's right. His speed is like dial up. Kelly says, thankfully my hubby is a tech geek. That's good. Em says Wi-Fi 6 as well. With Wi-Fi 6 works better in my home, but we live in small flats.
Yeah, actually, our new Wi-Fi has Wi-Fi 6, but most of our devices don't.
Yeah, most of our devices can't tap into it. Adam says it's shocking. It takes 90 minutes to upload a 12-minute vlog. Yeah, I remember those days, Adam. That's why but we pay for it too. I mean, this is not a cheap service. They have a special running right now, and I don't know, they always have a special. And I think we're paying, before taxes, $100 a month for what we have now. But that's just for the internet. That doesn't take into consideration our television as well. But we did get rid of our landline. Finally, we got rid of our landline. Last time I tried to get rid of it, they were going to charge us more a month not to have it because of little packages and things like this that we're into. I think that was
we just about did it. I've been slowly moving everything from my from using the landline to my cell phone over the last couple of years. So we weren't really getting any regular phone calls on the landline. All we were getting were scam calls.
Yeah.
And we were getting so many, it was unreal. Finally, the day before he called to cancel the service, we had one kept phoning us. One scam kept phoning us every 5 minutes for about 2 hours until I unplugged the phone.
Yeah.
Because I said, that's it. Well, unplug the phones. I can't stand this any longer.
Yeah, and that was what persuaded me now to push the issue with Bell.
And it's been silent ever since.
Yeah. But the one problem with the Bell was the left hand doesn't talk to the right hand. I talked to 3 different people, and I got similar stories, but they seemed to didn't know what the other ones, I had talked to the other ones about, yet they have a transcript. And it's in their computer. And even the guy that came here to install the upgrade, he says, can I use your phone? And I says, no. He said, that morning they had cut, before he got here, they had cut off our landline service. So we had nothing. It was a dead phone. And I said, well, no. I said, we got rid of the landline when we were doing this upgrade. Did you not know that? And he kind of looked at me, and he picks up the phone and he tries it. And I said, did you get anything? No. I said, it's dead. Like, it didn't seem to register with him with what I was saying. We do not have a landline. And then it finally dawned on him what I meant. And I wasn't talking any foreign language. And he seemed to understand English well. He had an accent, but he still understood English. So I don't know what was going on. Then he phoned. He has a cell phone in his hand, and they have all their little controls on it or something for the service. And he called a supervisor about something with the connection. The supervisor told him something, and he said something about, oh no, you have to get a technician to do that. The supervisor thought he was talking to a customer, not to one of their technicians. And he says, I am the technician. So, okay, makes you wonder about the intelligence level and the communication levels that are going on with Bell. And what's as ironic is poor communication, and yet their communication thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Francis, there are some people that use the UMA service, which is it's basically a voice over internet.
Oh, yeah.
Phone. But we decided we're going to try and do everything with our cell phone. So.
Well, we already are.
Yeah.
Basically, we've made the transition over the last year or so with that. So, yeah.
And our plans are, we just have, we don't have our plans are pretty good on our cell phone. We don't even have, we have a prepaid system. And so we don't have to pay as much per month. And, but we have unlimited long distance calls across the country. So,
I've got to ask Mozilla something because I don't understand what you mean. She says, I got rid of a landline because of scam calls too. Use a hub for Wi-Fi. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but when I say modem, that's what a modem is. It's a hub. Okay? They're interchangeable words. So
well, actually, they're not really called modems anymore.
No, they're called
routers.
Routers or whatever. Well, no, they've always been called routers.
A modem is the
Yeah,
old style,
I guess,
yeah,
but
okay.
I
It's
think
like tape instead of
yeah. But I think what she means is use a hub for Wi-Fi. Well, that's what we have.
yeah.
Okay, that's essentially what we have. Yeah. All this terminology, whatever, with it.
Modem is old school.
Yeah, okay, fine. Well, I'm old school. Francis says they got rid of the landline at work. Our internet will go up, but not significantly. That's the UMA thing. And yes, at home it's just our cell phones and internet for Wi-Fi, including television. Yeah, that's what we have too. So, but
It's
anyway,
been nice and quiet here since.
Yeah,
because, I mean,
we don't hear
we
the
were
phone
getting
ring.
were scam phone calls all the time.
However, you know what's going to happen now? They are going to start going through the seller. Well, they already do.
Yeah, but see, a lot of the cell phones are unpublished numbers, right?
Yeah,
So they can't find the numbers, and that's why you get those stupid text messages that says, "Hi, it's Gary. How are you?" or something like that, or "Hi, how are you today?" And what they're doing is they're fishing for an actual phone number. So if you answer one of those, you're tempted. You can start getting scam phone calls on your cell phone because what they're doing is fishing for a valid number.
Yeah. Marchand says, does Mom mean that her telephone service has an internet hub that she uses? Okay. Could be.
Well, our landline had been because we switched to fiber, optical fiber television and that, and our internet service was optical fiber as well. Our phones were switched from a regular landline to a voice over internet protocol landline.
Yeah. Mozilla says Howie hub device, only thing we could use at our cabin because all other places, Shaw, etc., were overloaded. Okay. Moldy Lasagna's here. Hello, Moldy Lasagna. Modem is demodulated device for connecting over phone lines. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's an old term. Yeah. Okay, people, I'm not that stupid. All right. Just let you know.
It's sort of like people saying, well, I'll tape that TV show when in actual fact they're using
yeah.
They're using it over
I mean, these were the terms that we were brought up on, okay? We know what we're talking about, and most people in our age group know what we're talking about, even if we're not using the exact term that they use today. The kids might not know, but we kind of can communicate it. We get it. But anyways, it doesn't matter. As long as it works, I don't care what you call it. Katie Kraft says, my cell sends unknown numbers directly to voicemail. They don't leave messages and the cell doesn't ring. Yeah, well, we don't have that service because we have, as Walter said, we have basically pay-as-you-go.
Well, no, actually, we can do that on our cell phone.
Can we?
You can send that, say that if it's not on your call list, it won't receive it. But I don't really want to do that.
But I don't want to send them to my voicemail either.
I don't really want to do that because there may be someone that I may have left a phone number for that isn't in my call list. So
yeah, so it's true, that cuts them off. Also, like you said, so you were saying that they're fishing to see if you're going to pick up or whatever. So if your voicemail picks up, that means the line is active.
Yeah, but they're not calling me. What they're doing is sending me a text message. It doesn't go to voicemail.
Yeah, but you also sometimes get these calls. I got one yesterday. It said it was from a certain area north of Toronto. I don't know anybody in that area of Toronto.
Okay.
And the number was, you know, you get those one.
Yeah, okay, well then maybe they'll be able to get it. So
So if they let it ring, if I had it, oh, of course I do have voicemail on there,
yeah.
but it's never gone to voicemail. I don't think they let it go long enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hello, Purple Wall. Whatever. And Francis says, I'm with you, Kelly. Cruises, crafts, and quilts. If they can't leave a message, I won't call back at work or home. Yeah, I know. But you know, it's the mystery, isn't it? Again, let's talking about the old days. Remember, if you at home when you were a kid, the phone rang, you answered it. And if you got on the other end of the line, or there was nobody on the other end of the line, or you missed a call, you were, oh, I wonder who it was. Of course, that was all in the days before, you know, we had the technology we have now, and we didn't have scammers in those days. Okay, if occasionally a salesman might call you.
Well, you used to get, every once in a while, you used to get those phone calls from people selling you stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I just said. Some salesmen, what? Is there a time delay here?
Yeah.
What time zone are you in on that side of the room? I don't know. It's the stun time zone. But anyways, we'll see how this all works out. Doesn't matter. It's going to have to work out because that's what we've got. So, other upgrades. So, you know, we've been talking about our grow lights and everything. So, we have another one. Now, we got a second grow light. Walter hasn't put it together yet, set up. And I bought some seeds for dwarf tomato plants. They said on the package that these are supposed to be good for indoor pots. And they're little cherry tomatoes, but I think the plant grows something like from 10 to 18 inches, or maybe that was centimeters.
Yeah,
No,
so
it
we'll
must be
get
more than
one tomato.
Yeah, I get one tomato. I don't know. I bought the seeds on Amazon. I'll see what happens with them.
Jack and the Beanstalks.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Well, good. Go up and get the golden goose that laid the gate, or the goose that laid the golden egg. So whatever with it. But yeah, we're going to extend our experiment with our grow lights because we've had good luck with the lettuce, and I want to get started on I want to try pepper plants under them. One for starting them up for, you know, in the spring when we can put them out in a pot so they don't take until October to, you know, produce green peppers from the seeds. And also, I have heard that you can grow pepper plants indoors. And so I don't know. I mean, they're kind of tall. So I don't know how that will work out. But, you know, if you don't experiment, you'll never know. So what does it cost us just to experiment? I know if it works, it's going to cost us less for making salads. If we have our own lettuce and peppers.
As it is, our lettuce crop are going pretty good right now. So.
Yeah, we've got a good crop of lettuce. So anyways, we'll see how that all works out.
We've got lots of herbs. We've got
we need
basil.
We need to cut them back.
Yeah, tarragon and all kinds. Yeah, I know that.
And put them in
maybe
freeze some of them. Yeah, see what happens with that. And then what are people saying here exactly, Francis? Moldy. My sister got a call from a guy telling her she was under investigation from the IRS and she needed to send him money. My sister is an IRS agent. Yeah, I know. In Canada, they come from the CRA, which is the Canadian Revenue Association? Agency. They call it. Same thing, yeah. Or you love the ones, you know, they're going to send the cops. They've got the cops out. There's a warrant for your arrest. They're coming to your doorstep. And I'll go, good.
Show up.
Great. That'll be fun. Need some company.
Yeah, Dana, we have harvested some of our lettuce.
Oh, Dana's here. Hi, Dana. Yes, we have. We've eaten some of it too. We harvested, and we're waiting for more of it to get to the harvest level.
Well, actually, we have some at the harvest. Yeah, plenty.
I can't see it for the herbs.
Yeah.
The herbs are kind of taken over with that. So, yeah, that's our plans for our grow lights. So, tomorrow, watch either Stephanie's YouTube channel or mine, because we have an announcement tomorrow about our collab that we are doing. And so we're putting up the announcement on Monday, and that will give you all the details. I'm not going to tell you any more about it. It'll all be revealed this week. So, and we're kind of excited about it. I'm a little nervous about it because I've never done a sew along like this.
That's Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches. Of course, is there any other Stephanies? No. I mean, I think Stephanie's father, her husband probably thinks we're having an affair. We're always zooming each other
Yes,
all the time.
Jeannie, our system is using LED grow lights.
Yep. Hi, Jeannie. Um, so I'm depending upon Stephanie to keep me on the straight and narrow on this thing because it could turn into a comedy show, not necessarily intentionally because of, me. That's why I call myself the idiot quilter. So we'll see what happens. Shirley says, now you're going to need a dehydrator to dry your herbs.
Maybe you can do them in the
I
microwave.
could do them in the microwave. Yeah. You can dry herbs in the microwave. Just be very careful. I think I told you the story some time ago about setting the microwave on fire with a little summer savory that I was drying once. Yeah.
Well, somebody says a large hydroponic indoor garden had peppers and tomatoes growing successfully.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So hello, Terry. I didn't see you come in. Yeah. Well, I know people do that, but one of the problems, though, anything is possible if you've got the room. And really, when you get into hydroponics and things like that, you need space
We don't really have a lot of space.
We don't have a lot of
Lucy
space.
takes up so much room.
Yes, I know. And if I have to pick between a salad and Lucy, Lucy wins. Yeah. Dana says a dehydrator will be much safer. Yeah, probably. But you know me, I read it in a book once. This is many years ago. I thought I'd give it a try, and it did work until it hit summer.
Yeah, my friend dries weed
in her microwave. Yeah, well,
he had summery savory.
It was summer savory that went up. I had done several different other herbs, and they all worked out okay. Then I put the summer savory in, and I don't know what was about summer savory, but it burst into flames. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so Terry says you sure do need the room. Yep, that's for sure. So we'll see. We're playing around. It's an experiment. It's something new for us. So, told you about the collab. Okay. So, I also mentioned a week or two ago that Ultimate Sewing was going to have a 3-day during the day retreat locally. One where you didn't stay overnight or anything like that. That got canceled. I was a little disappointed.
Actually, I wasn't surprised.
I wasn't surprised, but I was a little disappointed. I was sort of looking forward to it. The reason it got canceled, well, it hasn't been canceled. It's been delayed. They're not going to do it now until October. Now, part of the reason is the owner of Ultimate Sewing, she has her store's open house the week before this is happening. And I think she depends upon her open house. She runs them usually twice a year, and that's when she brings out on display all the new classes for the season, kind of a thing that they're running. And she really has to have all of her staff there. The idea when Donna, the hostess with the mostest, was planning this was she planned it on a Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday, which is a little different. But the store is closed on Mondays, and of course it's closed on Sundays. So there had been some of the other staff at the store who had voiced an interest that they would like to kind of have an opportunity to go to this. But of course, if they had to work on those days, they would be able to go. So that's why she had planned it that way. But they're also putting together their annual retreat, which is a 3-night, 4-day event at a place out of town. And you've heard me talk about it before because we've been there. And that falls pretty close. I think it's in about the second week of March or something like that when it's coming up. So, if people were going to pick and choose which one, if they were only going to go to one, it's basically running into competition with yourself kind of a thing. So I think that's why it has been delayed until October. Yeah, well, I'll live. It's okay about it. We'll see what October brings. We might not be here in October. I don't know. We might be on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to that. But anyways, I was a little disappointed, but I get it. Okay, so that takes us to travel plans. We are booked. Walter has our flights, some of our hotels booked, and a rental car reserved. And we're off in the middle of April to Vancouver, to BC. And we don't know exactly what we're going to do there yet. We're hoping to get down to Abbotsford, which is about an hour south of Vancouver, to see my brother. We want to go out to Victoria on Vancouver Island, which is also the capital of the province of British Columbia, and want to get there and take a look at that. Maybe go to Nanaimo, where the bars come from. That's on Vancouver Island as well. And there's other things to see and whatnot. So we're going for, what's it work out to that you?
13 days. Lucky 13.
Oh, lucky 13. How nice. So, anyways, that's on our books. And now Walter's also looking into our itinerary for when we go down to the East Coast for the Great Canadian National Quilt Show, or the Canadian National, it's not the Great Canadian National Quilt Show. That's in June, first part of June, June 8th through to the...
Yeah, we're driving there, though.
Yeah, we're driving there. Probably going to make a stop at Quebec City on the way, and then today you were working out.
Yeah, well, I booked a hotel in Quebec City today, and then our next stop will be Frederick, and then I booked a hotel there, and then we're going to Halifax, and then after that, I think we're going to go to Prince Edward Island. I'm not sure exactly where we're staying there yet, and then on the way back, we'll stop in St. John's, New Brunswick. St. John.
St. John, yeah. St. John's is Newfoundland.
And then head back home after that.
Yeah. So we'll be gone for what?
I haven't decided yet.
Walter has. My travel agent hasn't.
Probably about 2 weeks. So
yeah. So that'll be fun. And then maybe, I don't know. This is really up in the air. We have talked about it. Right now, it's just more or less sort of a...
nothing's been booked yet.
No,
so.
and that's Australia in the fall.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're trying to get back into the travel mode again after so many years of not being able to do any of that. So we'll see how this all goes.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Our luggage may go around the world, but we won't on these flights. They're still having problems with the luggage left over from Christmas and the storms and everything like that, from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm kind of getting excited about it.
Judy L's going to be in Halifax. So.
Oh, there you go. Are you going for the Canadian National?
I don't know. She might live out there.
Show, or do you live there? God, I can't remember where anybody lives. Probably have told me, but I just don't remember. And I know Ron's out there as well, so we'll have to make plans to get together with Ron and his wife. And there's another lady who lives in Prince Edward Island. I'm not sure exactly where she lives in Prince Edward Island, but she told us if we ever come out there that she wants to do lobster with us or something. I said, oh yeah, we're all gung ho for that. So we'll be looking people up like that. And there's a few other people that I'm going to meet up with, but I can't tell you right now what that is because it's a bit of a secret with that too. So yeah, hang around, find out more. Shirley says, Victoria, BC is beautiful. My oldest daughter was born there, moved there a year after I was married, lived there for 3 years. We have been, but it's been
quite a while.
Was it last century?
Well, last time we were in Victoria, I think it was about 1994 or 1995.
I think it was 90. No, it could have been 95. We moved into this house in 95.
Well, it must have been 93 that we went.
Yeah. We were in the other house.
Yeah, I think it was like 10 years after
our first trip.
Yeah,
it was. Oh, God. It's 1993. That was 30 years ago. Holy shit. I think things have changed. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, my God. 30 years ago. All new to us then. Because who remembers? Yeah. Kind of looking forward to that. Judy's got everything booked. Okay. So that'll be fun. So anyways, yep, those are our travel plans. Looking forward to it. Stay tuned. So that means that when we're out on all these trips, it's going to depend on internet connections and that. I am going to try to do, I might try some lives. I don't know if we'll have much luck with that. I'll have my iPad with me and of course our phones and everything. So if wherever we're staying has a decent internet connection, that doesn't cost us an arm and a leg to use or whatever. Either that or I will pre-record stuff while we're there out in that area. I did that when we were in Australia, and then I'll just upload it again. It all depends on the technology that's available, and what that technology costs to tap into as well. So we'll see how that all works out. Moldy says, "Oh man, you guys are old."
Yeah, no, we've been together too long.
Yeah, I don't even remember his name. Every
Who's
day
that?
I wake up, it's a new person. You.
Mm.
I don't know. Old. Memory goes, So, today, you saw by the clickbait title, not really clickbait, Stupid and Rude is what I called today's, because I'm getting really, really annoyed. Not with you, okay? Nothing there. Just in general. I don't know if you've noticed it, but ever since the pandemic hit in that, the inner rudeness of people has come out. And it's very apparent, like on internet, on YouTube. Okay? Now, if you caught So Chatty this week, we kind of pussyfooted our way around this topic. And the whole thing is that, we were saying about people asking us questions or making comments. Now, those questions are legit and questions are great. I don't mind questions at all. But we did say in the So Chatty, some people ask questions that have already been answered in the same video they're addressing the question to. So obviously they're got us on in the background and aren't paying attention and taking notes. I don't know why they wouldn't be taking notes, really. Should be taking notes with it all. And that's fine, if you miss something or whatever. But then some people don't do any research at all. They don't bother to Google. I mean, we have Google, people. Google. It's wonderful. I wish there was Google when I was going to high school and university, for research and everything. God, that would have saved me a lot of time. But we've got the technology. Let's use it. But sometimes I get asked questions because people, I guess maybe I give the impression, I don't really mean to,
That
but
you know everything.
that I know everything. Yeah, well, I do. But occasionally there's one or two things I need to bone up. No, and that's fine. But those are not the things I'm really talking about. What I'm talking about are rude comments. For example, I had a comment the other day by somebody. Vivian Cormier. Yes, I'm calling out the stupid. I am. And if they don't like me, too bad. So sad. Drop my channel like a hot potato. This lady turned around and made a comment and said, "Why are you always so rude to Walter?" Well, I'm not rude to Walter. That's how we are with each other. It's our sense of humor. We've been around with each other for 39 years. We know when either one of us is being or trying to be humorous and the whole bit. I realize that maybe since other people may not know us as well, maybe that would come across as being rude or something like that. But this person made this comment just like that. And I thought, okay, let's give this person the benefit of the doubt. And I answered back and I said, well, you really don't understand our relationship. So, what may seem rude to you is really, that's just the way we are. In other words, no big deal. Kind of thing.
Like Ron said, it's easy for someone to be rude if you're not face to face.
Yes.
A lot of people will write a comment on a YouTube video that they would never, ever say the same thing to them face to face.
Yeah, exactly. So Terry, it's the dynamic of our relationship. That's all, But anyways, so I was going to give this person the benefit of the doubt with it, and I explained it. But then I was mentioning this to Stephanie, and I hope Stephanie doesn't mind me bringing this up. This same person wrote a comment, a very nasty comment on one of her Vlogmas videos, completely uncalled for. And I think, Stephanie, you deleted that person, this Vivian Cormier. That's probably not even her real name, or even if it's a here or whatever, she or a he, I don't know. It could be fake. And so when Stephanie reminded me of it, I said, oh, okay. So I'm watching for this person. And then I'm going to delete them, because as content creators, we have the ability to remove people from our YouTube channel. And I will have no hesitations in it. But there's all kinds of comments. In fact, we were watching White Cottage Company videos. I watch her all the time. She's the lady out in Ohio. She's formerly Amish. She isn't anymore. She left the society, whatever you call it. It's not an organization, whatever, the culture, the group, whatever, some time ago. And she puts up these videos about, her home decor, and she makes a lot of things. She has an Etsy store and all this kind of stuff. And, they're kind of fun to watch. You may not agree with every one of her decorating choices, but big deal. Everybody has their own taste. Well, she likes to, every month, go through Q&As, comments that come on her site. And I don't know why she does this to herself. She's very gracious, I'll say that. But she'll read some of there's the plain, stupid, and rude ones that people say. People all have this thing about, your music is too loud, they say to her. I've had that comment before when I used to have music.
Sometimes you can accidentally have your music too loud, but
a nice way to say it would have been, oh, I noticed that your music was a little louder than usual, which kind of took away from what you were saying. I'm just wondering, did you realize that, maybe there's a setting? But no, these people say, your music's too loud. And you're ugly. I can always turn down my music. You'll still be ugly. Really. Then they were criticizing her decor. Well,
decor is weird. It's some people like it and some people don't. So,
but they don't
just because you don't like it doesn't mean.
But they don't say it like as oh, I saw what you did with that. Not my style, but I can appreciate what you've done. Not say that's ugly. I'd never do that. What were you thinking? Well, you don't have to live there, so why are you worried about it? That kind of thing. I think what happens on YouTube is that it's that people I can't say the word.
It's anonymous.
It's anonymous.
Quotes so people can write something nasty on there. I don't know if they're trying to get the jollies or what the story is, but you're anonymous. You can write an anonymous comment on there, and maybe they're just not happy people to begin with.
Well, first of all, I don't think they are happy people. Second of all, I don't think they have a life, because if this is what you do all day, is you watch videos and you make derogatory comments on other people's content, what does that say about the kind of life you have and what your level of happiness is? Because I don't believe happy people do that kind of thing. I really don't. But the problem is back to this anonymous business. I think they say these things. Haven't we all? We've all had derogatory comments that we keep up here, but they should never come out of here, right? Because, well, one, you'll hurt somebody's feelings, and two, how's it going to change anything? Constructive criticism is one thing. Just belligerent, derogatory comments is just rude, to say the least.
Yeah, Francis, you're right. It's not just YouTube. It's anywhere on the internet.
Yeah, I was getting to that, actually. But yeah, it happens in Facebook. It happens all over the place. But here's what people are afraid to do, and I'm not afraid to do it. Now, I'm calling them out. If somebody writes something that's rude, blatantly rude, if I feel, no, I have not misinterpreted that this is just somebody being nasty, I'm calling them out. Like Vivian Cormier. Remember that name. Vivian Cormier. Okay? And she can't do a bloody thing about it, because she started it. Okay? And I think these people need to be called out, because maybe they'll think twice before they do it to somebody else next time. Because now they're not anonymous. Unless, of course, it's not their real name.
Unless they change their name. Yeah.
Or whatever. But do you get my point? We live in a society, a polite society, for the most part, for most of us, where we just tend to, just let it go. Don't say anything. Don't rock the boat. Well, my sandbox, my rules when it comes to this. I spend my time and my effort and my money working on this kind of stuff. I don't need the cranks. They're not welcome here. Everybody else is. So if you're a crank, get off. Go away. But,
yeah, you can. What can you do? You can block them, or what is it you can do?
First of all, there's levels. You can, if a comment comes on, and see, my system is set up so that any comment that someone writes on any video pops up in my email, so I can see it, and it's usually pretty instantaneous because my email system is set up to check for new email every 5 minutes, and so it gets right there, and I can go right to that comment, and then I can delete it, so no one ever sees it. But I can also go in and report the person as a crank, as someone there's different categories you can check off for YouTube, and that also will block them as well from the channel. You used to be able to eliminate subscribers, but I haven't been able to find that anymore. And I did read something that YouTube got rid of that, which I don't think they should have. It should be the mandate of the content creator to have the ability to remove a subscriber if they so desire. But I have a feeling that YouTube doesn't want you to do that because they want to keep as many people active on here as possible, because that's more revenue for them through the advertising and advertising that's viewed. But you can do these things with them too. Personally, I think a public flogging would be so much more fun with that kind of thing. Like, just
Yeah, so be careful.
yeah, take them out there. We know where you live. We can find out. We will beat you. Yeah, kind of a thing. But no, I'm just going to call them out. That's my public flogging. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt the first time. Something was lost in translation, kind of a deal. But if it's repeated, then no, I'm calling them out. So stay tuned on here. I'll bring it up on the lives. I'll have a list of names. People I want to flog this week. Whatever. I mean, I don't think there's going to be very many often. Because that doesn't happen very often for me.
But once in a while.
But watching other people's YouTube videos, I don't know if you've ever done it. If you've gone down and scanned through a YouTube channel and looked at what other people are commenting on. I do this every now and then to see how people are taking what somebody has said or whatever. And that's where you'll see a lot of rude comments in there. Belligerent comments. Now, the other thing I like to do when I scan through comments is that looking at the ones that have absolutely no relevance to the content. They just say stupid things.
Like, hi.
Yeah, okay. Hi isn't stupid, okay? It's a greeting. But I always wonder when I see that, and I have this happen all the time, and it's usually, sometimes I don't know, does this person who's writing hi think we're actually live at that moment? Yeah. Or are they just sending a simple greeting just to say hi?
Yeah, you do get some that people log on and it sounds like they think you're still live.
They think that we're live still.
On the repeat.
Yeah. And, and like I said, some of them they're just being friendly, just letting them know that, hi, we saw your video, kind of a thing. Hi. Okay, hi.
Yeah, like Stephanie has here that she doesn't understand why the negative comments, if you don't like the content, then you can just move on.
Yeah, you don't have to stay there. No one's twisting your arm. There are YouTube channels that I don't watch. I check them out once or twice and go, no, this content isn't for me. And I just don't bother to subscribe to it, and I don't come back to it. And yeah, look how much content there is out there for all of this. So, you're not being nailed down to and we are.
However, these people may do that to all the channels that they watch.
Well, and I think they do. So, maybe we don't need to feel so special. They do it to everybody. They treat everybody the same, belligerently. But to extend this a little further then, because it got me thinking, I think this attitude that they have carries over to other things. during the pandemic, people were very obviously very uptight. We didn't know what the next day was going to bring. It was a world that we had not lived in before. We were uptight, we were nervous, we were depressed about it. And when all those kind of feelings are inside of you, they have to get out somehow. Now, maybe some people, exercise a lot or something like that. But I think it's very easy for people to turn on other people, especially people they don't know, and become belligerent. And I think sales clerks uh, got that a lot. The service industry got that a lot during the pandemic, to the point where I don't know if you've noticed it, but a lot of places have signs up on their cash registers or on the door saying they will not tolerate abusive language or
I think about
treatment.
the times when masks were mandatory and people that
Mm,
didn't want to wear
the
masks
anti-maskers.
would get belligerent to staff at stores and things like that.
Yeah,
And really, there isn't any need to be belligerent to staff because
it's not
staff are
their
just
fault.
staff usually don't make the rules. It's the management that makes the rules.
Yeah, it's management that makes the rules. They're just an employee. So, so I guess you might call that redirected aggression, as they call it, where if you can't get at the source of the problem, you will redirect your anguish and your anger at whatever is most readily available to you. And in the place in retail, that would be a store clerk, probably. I mean, I get it because my tolerance level sometimes when I'm in stores, especially grocery stores, right now, my pet peeve is why do they have to stock their shelves in the middle of the day and they've got the aisle blocked off? And it's always the part of the aisle that I need to get into to get something. And there's this huge cart of stuff that's immovable in front of it, and I can't reach around it, over it, under it, or sideways. And Walter explained it to me. What they used to stock.
They used to stock at night,
Yeah.
but I don't. I think they don't want to pay them at night to do that. So I don't know, or people don't want to work that night.
No.
That's a possibility.
But people are just really cranky. Now, one thing that does get my goat, I understand why they're putting it there, but this has become a standard sign in a lot of places. The one that I mentioned, where they say abusive language, this, and the other thing will not be tolerated. Okay, I agree. They shouldn't tolerate someone telling them they're an F and a hole or whatever and all this kind. However, I have been in situations where I have heard people they they will be told, "Do not raise your voice, please." The person is stating a concern and they're being ignored about that concern. And you know what happens? It's human nature. You just you get a little louder out of it all. Instead of de-escalating it, they're escalating it because they're turning around and say, "I don't have to take that and I don't have to serve you." Okay, the word serve means to wait on somebody else. If you are a waiter, if you are a helpline operator, if you are a cashier or something like that, the nature of your job is that of service. And whatever happened to the old adage, the customer is always right? Now it's like the customer is always on the defensive because they immediately, many of these stores, if you make a complaint, and even if you're polite when you're making the complaint about it, they don't necessarily are polite with you. Their dander gets right up, and then okay, so maybe they've heard a lot of complaints, okay, and it's probably trying on them. I get that, but you're still in an industry where you are there to serve. That's what you do, kind of a thing. So it works both ways. But yes, I agree. People shouldn't be telling some poor cashier or something that she's a big hunk of something and she should die. No, that's not appropriate with that kind of thing. But you see more and more of that happening all the time.
Yeah,
Um,
Julie M says her local grocery switched to daytime restocking because it can't get anybody except the bakery department employees. and the cleaners to come at night.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah, well, which is
yeah.
true, and there's a lot of shortage of employees these days, so I can see that happening.
And that's another thing too, that we know that people lost their jobs during the pandemic. Now there's jobs available, but these people aren't coming back to those jobs. So what are they doing?
Either that, or they got better jobs,
Well,
or
maybe they
they
got better jobs. Well, bully
decided to
for
get a
them.
different job. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Um, Julie says, respect the people to handle your food and drinks. Yeah, because you don't want someone gobbing in your soup. Very true.
I know people get pretty upset sometimes at service staff in a restaurant or something like that. And I don't know. I always feel bad for people like that
Yeah.
when that happens.
Anna says the customer's not always right. Oh, you're absolutely right about that, Anna. The customer is not always right. But what I'm saying is that used to be the phrase, which was I think it was meant to suggest, like, be as nice and as helpful as you can be if you are serving people.
Or be attentive to complaints, right?
Yeah,
Type of thing.
like, kind of a thing. Don't just
But a lot of
dismiss
times
them or turn
nowadays,
them off.
people aren't satisfied with the answer they get, so then they escalate it, or they make it worse, or are
Yeah.
obnoxious or something like that.
Well, I don't know if you know the show. It's called White Lotus. And in the second season, it was the second or the first season? First season. There was a character in there that was a little bit entitled, and he was out for blood no matter what. The hotel, White Lotus is a hotel in this series. No matter what they did, was never good enough for him, and he wanted to complain. All he did was complain all the time. And there are people like that. They look for a fault in everything. And if it's not just the way that they thought it was supposed to be, then they start, they immediately go to the top. I believe in doing things in a progression. I mean, if you have a complaint, go to this at the start, with the initial conversation. And if it's not working out, then you ask for the next level. I mean, you have to be consistent or persistent is the word I want with that kind of thing. But you don't need to call them every name in the book either. They are human beings too, doing their job. I mean, I probably come from because I was a teacher. And boy, do you have some parents who just immediately you are the enemy. You're immediately the enemy to some of the kids too, because everybody's gone to school, right? Everybody had that bad experience, and then they figure it's always going to be like that. And parents come in all the time and just, and you have to learn how to be diplomatic. You have to learn how you want to jump across their desk and take them by the neck and squeeze them until they're purple, kind of a thing. And then go plunk next. But you can't do that in that job. But I don't know. It's a bad state of affairs.
Julie M doesn't seem to like self-checkouts. Actually, I kind of like them.
I'm getting used to them, but I
like it if you've got one or two items and you can just whiz through. So I don't like it when somebody does an entire grocery cart full. But
well, you know what I don't like about self-checkouts are the advertisements. They're when you go to pay, you get a button to donate money for something here or there, or it talks to you, and I don't like that. I don't want to talk to the machine, and half the time they don't scan properly.
Well, I don't like on the self-checkouts, I don't like non-intuitive interfaces. Like when you've got something that doesn't have a scan code and you got to look for it, a lot of times they have it so that it's impossible to figure that out.
Yeah. Pamela says, one of my friends and I do whatever we can to compliment folks that are serving us, whether in person or on phone calls. We look at it as we may be the only positive contact they have in a day. Yeah, and I always thank people that serve me. I always thank them on help on the phone, even when I don't get really what I want. Because, there's extenuating circumstances with it. But you still have to be firm about what you want in certain things, but you don't have to be rude about it, you know. And I think it goes a long way to thank people. I agree with that too, Pamela.
Yeah, actually, you should actually try and thank people that are helping you out, sort of thing.
Hi, Ames. Um,
Sorry to hear that you're having a relationship problem.
yeah, that's sorry. We can't really do much to help you with that, but sorry you're going through it. Um, but anyways, yeah, and I guess maybe just picking up on what Ames has said there, you don't, and other people have said, you don't know what the person's background is that you're dealing with. They may be having a really bad day too. And sometimes though we kind of forget about that because we're very much concentrating on our problem and getting our problem solved, and we don't think about those people on the other end. However, if they are professional about their job, no matter how much they may be hurting in the whole bit, it is not appropriate for them to bring that to their job. And if that's what's consuming them, they need extra help somewhere. And I don't, this may sound harsh, but that extra help is not my responsibility. I don't know their situation. I don't know their background. And quite frankly, I'm not there to be their psychiatrist or therapist either with it. So, yeah, maybe that sounds cruel and harsh, but we all have problems. We all have problems, right? So we have to deal with it, whatever it is. I mean, there were days when I was in front of a classroom full of kids and I would have loved to have killed every one of them, and not because of anything they had done. I just was not having a good day and there was something else going on in my life, but it wasn't their fault. It had nothing to do with them. I wasn't sharing it with them. I wasn't, because they wasn't anything for them. So, and that's where you have to, your professional life and your personal life. You do, and it's hard. It's very hard to keep the two separated, but it depends on what they bring to the plate, right? With that, what are people saying here? I call it confuse them by being nice. Yeah, yeah, dazzle them with brilliance. Um, if everybody was as kind and considers Dolly Parton with others, there would be peace in the world. Yes, Julie, you are right. There would be. And also this, I'll tell you something right off the bat, which also sounds bad. People who are overly friendly all the time worry me. I don't trust them at all because they don't seem really human to me. Now, I just got done saying you shouldn't bring your personal life into your professional life. Yes. However, I think you know what I mean. There are these people all the time that are just lighting up a room. They come in, hi, how are you? Oh, that's lovely outfit you're wearing. Oh, that's nice. You sounds like you have a little cold. Well, I hope you're going to get better. God bless you with that one. Oh, yes. And you go, if you hear that all the time, you start to wonder, are they really genuine? Maybe. I mean, I used to work for a principal whose idea of keeping up morale amongst the staff was to write cute little happy notes and stick them in people's mailboxes all the time. Hi, you're doing a great job. Thanks. Now, the first time you got one of those, you thought, oh, that makes me feel special. The 12th time you got one, you're kind of thinking, do you have these professionally printed?
Yeah, I had a boss like that too, constantly giving you feedback, positive feedback, and things like that, to the point where I didn't believe it anymore.
Yeah, Julie, you're one of those optimistic people. I can see that. So she says maybe they just decide to be nice no matter how they feel or how low their self-esteem is, a mask for their own pain. And that could be very true.
Dana says, Stephen, you don't trust me.
No, I don't, Dana.
I don't know. You're not always nice.
Yeah, really, Dana. God. I know Dana too well. But I mean, you know what I mean? I'm one of those people who do not give compliments freely. I don't say necessarily bad, negative things to people, but if I say something nice to somebody, I mean it. I mean, if they showed me something that I didn't like, I wouldn't turn around and say, oh, that's horrible, or something like that, what I would say is, oh, well, that's nice. I wouldn't gush over it or anything like that. But if I did gush over something, it means, yeah, I'm really complimenting you because you've done a really good job, or this is fantastic. And I think that means more to people, especially get to know you. Like my department knew me. They knew that I did not throw out wasted comments on people. It didn't mean that I criticized them, unless I had to, because I was put into a situation as the boss to have to say something. But I wouldn't just give out false, compliments all the time. Yeah, and because I don't think that serves a purpose, because people will see through you as time goes on. And then when you really do give a sincere compliment or something, they don't believe you with it. It sounds even more phony at that point. So, yeah. That's just my way of doing things. I mean, other people do it all. I'll just tell you this. If I get a compliment from somebody all the time, I don't trust them. I don't think they're being sincere. Maybe I'm just a negative person. I don't know. Whatever. What are people saying here? Purple Wall says she makes the kids thank the bus driver, the lunch lady, the custodians. I'm trying to make better humans, but it's a journey some days. Sure it is with kids. But Purple Wall, that's not a bad thing, because when somebody like that gets a thank you from a kid, that really makes their day. I saw that in school, and it doesn't hurt, because the teachers, the support staff at the school and that, they will think fondly of your child. And they will say, oh, that really good kid, kind of a thing. You as a parent, that comes back to you. That makes you feel good that you're doing something right. And the kid's learning a good lesson as well.
Not only that, as they get older in life, they'll begin to be more complimentary to everybody type of thing too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even in the offices that I worked in and stuff like that, I used to thank the cleaning ladies and everything else, because I mean, they're doing a function too. Like, the offices can't run without cleaning staff and things like that. So,
no, like my parents always taught me that if I came to a door in a public place like a shopping mall, and there were people behind me, to hold the door open for them. And that would throw some people off, because I was a kid and I was holding the door open, and they'd say, oh, thank you. What a nice young man. Actually, I have a knife in my back pocket and I'm going to rip off your purse. But no, but today you don't see a lot of that.
Especially in the larger cities. I found that when I was working in Toronto, that after a while, people are too busy trying to get to where they're going. They didn't bother holding doors open for other people, especially the elderly or something like that.
Like, that was just a common courtesy.
Or even I've seen it in buses and stuff too, where it's common courtesy for a younger person to stand up and let an older person sit down. And I've seen that a lot of times there's old people standing around and that look like they're frail, and younger people aren't willing to give up their seat.
Yeah. And Dana says, speaking of being nice to Stephen and Walter, remember to click on their like button. Oh, thank you, Dana. We love you, Dana. Thank you, Dana. Thank you all. You're all lovely people. And I'm not being sarcastic. Okay, Cheryl says, that's like telling someone they have a beautiful baby and they're the ugliest kid you've ever seen. Can't do it. Oh, I know how you feel.
Well, I don't know. I think all babies are.
Yeah, I'm pretty much that too. They're all little aliens. But they used to, all the teachers that went on maternity leave and had their baby, and then they would all come into the school to show off their baby, and all the female staff were all there going, oh, it's so cute. Oh, but look, yeah, it's a baby. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I mean, I could have turned around and said, well, you brought that kid into this world. What were you thinking? That's an irresponsible move, considering that the planet is overpopulated. We don't have enough food to feed most of the world now, and people create wars and all kinds of terror and conflict. Why did you have this kid? No, I never ever said that. Thought it, but I never said it. And what Stan says, I try to say something nice to most people. thanking whomever for the service they provided, for example, or wishing them a good day. And actually, Dana, you do that. I have noticed that with you online and everything like that. You're a very nice person. You're also hilarious and a pain in my butt, but a lot of fun. No, but I've noticed that. But that must have come from your upbringing. Yeah, it must have, you know. So here's another example of really stupid things, and it is, if you need a source of entertainment, there's these apps. We have one out here on our phone in our area called Nextdoor. I'm not sure why these apps were created, but I think the idea was, or the positive idea was, to link people in similar neighborhoods together so that they could,
help each other out
and create a sense of community, you know?
Create a sense of community. I think there's also an opportunity for people to sell stuff to you.
And I think it was also started by, on our end, I think it was started by a real estate agent.
Yeah, probably.
So, you see, there was probably ulterior
motives,
Reddit lips, to do this kind of thing. But if you want to laugh, read what people complain about on this.
Oh, and it's not just stupid, or like people ask stupid questions on there.
You know, I always said as a teacher to the kids, there's no such thing as a stupid question. In reality, there is. There really is. In fact, there's quite a few stupid questions out there. But, you don't say that to a kid because you're trying to encourage them to learn and all that kind of thing. Or you want people to ask questions. But this app, like, you get stuff, they complain. Somebody writes, "Oh my God, what? Does anybody know what happened at the corner of such and such a street the other day? I saw 2 cops." Okay. Did you check the news? Check your Google links for news.
Stephanie says she joined Nextdoor for 24 hours. She couldn't take the stupid.
I know.
Stupid. Yeah, there's some really stupid stuff on
Why
there.
don't we have...
Actually, there have been some helpful things.
There's been some things, but a lot of them are just... You have to wonder the intelligence of the individual that is writing things on here. Let's just see what's on today, shall we?
Actually, somebody wrote in the summertime, "My kid is out in the backyard 24/7, and I'm afraid of snakes," right? Getting him or something like that. And there aren't any really poisonous snakes in Ontario except for one, and they're not in our area. And somebody said, "Well, I think you're abusing your kids if they're out 24/7 in your backyard."
I'm looking for... Oh, here's one. There's a picture of a pigeon. This pigeon was found by staff at the No Frills Whitby on Dundas. She has a leg band and has not moved from the spot overnight. If she is yours, please go to the store and ask a staff member for her location, as I'm posting this for them.
Well, how do you know if you're a pigeon keeper, how do you know if it's your pigeon?
Like, okay.
I mean, it does have a leg band on.
It's got a leg band, but I don't know. And it's got this pigeon standing on the sidewalk and 3 pictures.
Well, not only that, not everybody is on this app, so...
No, that's true. And there's one advertising, tutoring services for their kid. But, here's a good one. Picture of a dog.
Is this your dog? You can't even tell what kind of dog it is.
It's a bad picture. It could be a wolf. Anyone know this dog? He's walking loose on Arborwood, as opposed to walking on tile. Do you know this dog? Well, not personally, but occasionally we say hi. I don't know. And then one writes back as a reply, "I hope he's not lost." Well, did you ask him? I don't know. Have you tried contacting Team Chelsea?
I think it's a shelter of some sort. I'm not sure what it is.
I believe that's one of our neighbor's dogs. I believe she was looking for him. She is on Finkel Drive. I hope she's located him. Okay. And then somebody writes, "Are you talking about Reese?" No, but if the dog gets hit by a car, it will be Reese's Pieces. Oh, I'm just so sadistic.
Anyway, yeah.
I don't know.
There's
These weren't the stupidest ones. There's been a lot on here. Oh, this one. I saw this the other day. There's a picture of grass. Okay. It says, anyone else finding sinkholes where Acon had been digging this past summer? And then somebody said, we see so many of these as we walk the neighborhood. Oh, we have three. One is 4 foot deep. We have 3. One is 4 foot deep. Commas and semicolons, people. Call your local counselor office. Hi, I've got a sinkhole. Yes, we called Bell yesterday about a sinkhole, and they said, okay, it's
a depression in your.
It's all look here, look. Okay, they're calling it a sinkhole.
It's just a piece.
It's a depression in the grass. It's not one of those sinkholes that open up and swallow cars. I don't know. Okay, so a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands. Beware. Oh, this one was funny though.
Actually, somebody posted a couple weeks ago. There's a place where you go get your blood tested called a company called Dynacare. Somebody wrote on there, can somebody tell me when they take their lunch hours so that I can go there when it's not busy? And I felt like putting on the responses. There's something called the telephone. You can call them and ask them.
Yeah. Sue says their next door is almost all lost and found dogs and people asking for free stuff. There was a woman.
There was a lady on there that was posting stuff that she was always looking for something, handouts for stuff. And I don't know if she was on social assistance or something like that, but she was always constantly crank looking for stuff. And people were nice and actually brought her stuff, but then later on complained that she was not very accepting or something like that.
Oh, she was picky.
Yeah.
Like she said she wanted this, and that because she had a small child and she couldn't afford this and couldn't afford that. So people, the goodness of her, decided to help her out. And then she turned things down. Well,
Yeah.
No, I don't want that kind. Okay, whatever. And Anna says, looking for recommendations for different services. Yes, there's lots of that. Does anybody know a plumber? Well, not personally. But I play one on TV. Whatever. I don't know. Well, okay, I get that. Okay, that seems like a legit kind of thing. You want to get.
I mean, there are legitimate things on there, but then there are some that aren't too.
But Francis is right. Yes. Oh, yes. The asking for phone numbers. Google people. Like, do some research. Like I said, go back to square one. And I said we have Google. Google is amazing.
Yeah. Actually, somebody was saying something about they went to our municipal landfill site to get rid of some junk, and they said it was closed and it was a holiday. Well, municipal landfill sites publish the times that they're open online. So all you had to do, and actually what I answered it, and I sent them the link to the landfill site that showed what the times they were open. People don't use Google and look for things. They're on Nextdoor asking other people what times things are open, but you can just Google it to find out when things are open.
Yeah, Russ says, quote meets world. Hi, Russ. He says, we get a lot of posts about the coyotes around here. I tell them the coyotes aren't an issue unless they're ordering from Acme. Yeah. That's true. But yeah, actually, there's a lot of,
there's coyote sightings here. Like I said, there was this guy that seemed to be having a problem with snakes. He was afraid that his kid would be in contact with snakes in the backyard. And somebody responded, I think you should be a little bit more worried about the coyotes in your neighborhood than the snakes.
Yeah, I know. Stephanie says she had one looking for clothes for her kids in our neighborhood. People felt bad and donated. Then she bought a $70,000 SUV a couple of days later. Really? Priorities. Yeah, exactly. And I've seen that on here too, and other things like that. People, sounding like they're on the bony knees of poverty and they're looking for help and, tug at people's heartstrings. And then they turn around and do this kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, that sort of happened during the pandemic in here when it first started. Somebody around here, some generous people around here, started up a website to help people that were shut in
Yeah.
for getting food. And then what ended up happening is people that couldn't make ends meet or something like that were constantly posting they needed this and needed that, and needed specific things. And somebody else posted something like, oh, my kid's really picky eater and he only eats certain things from Costco. So can somebody go to Costco and pick this up for me? Right. So after a while, that sort of fell apart because people were getting too picky as to what they wanted to help with.
Well, you think you're helping somebody out of the goodness of your heart and the whole bit, and then they turn around, it's just a slap in the face when they do something like that with it. But there's a lot of those stupid things on there. I'm really tempted to. Well, I did get into what was that one that I wrote? Somebody said something really stupid. Oh, she wrote about garbage pickup at Christmas time. Our garbage schedules change a little bit depending on when the holidays fall. And this woman thought it was in the best interest of her neighbors to remind everyone sternly that garbage collection was on such and such a day this week and that they must take in their garbage cans off the street on that day. And somebody made a comment about it. I forget what they said. And I said, guess we don't have anything better to do than worry about whose garbage can is out.
Somebody else wrote on their garbage police.
Yeah, garbage police and the whole bit. And I couldn't keep it up. It's doing it because, you're talking about wasting your time. But really, it was the way it was worded and the whole bit was, it wasn't like they were just reminding people as a pleasant thing. It was like, I don't want to see your garbage can out there because I will kill. Kind of a thing. Like, pick the mountain you want to die on, really.
Says
Sherlock says this happens in my area also. They go through all the different sites looking for free stuff. And the sad thing is it makes you want to donate to the next request. You not want to donate to the next request. The person may really need it. Yeah, exactly. And Sue says they have a creepy guy saying he wants to hire a housekeeper. He keeps getting called out. There are several creepy people on this one too that say, hi, anybody want to go for a walk in the woods at midnight? Hello, child molester? Or whatever. Well, children shouldn't be out there. Oh, that must be my Amazon order.
A few dozen town deer and have for several years. We got a decent size, not huge snowstorm. And one lady was worried about the deer and the birds. Where do the deer usually?
I don't know. Run out with a quilt and wrap them up. They're animals. They've seen weather before. They're kind of better equipped for it than we are as humans, I think. Okay, yeah, I don't like to see a poor animal suffering. Like if the deer was on my front lawn with a broken leg, I'd call somebody, I guess. But certain things are people get so caught up in them, in the little things that don't really matter. Use your energy for purposes of good and feed the world. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, such as it is, I suppose
we sort of rattled on for a bit.
Yeah, we did. We rattled on a little bit today, but thanks everybody for listening to our rattling with it all. But it's time to go. So tune in next week to my vlog, to the Idiot Quilter. There's an interview next week. There's a special announcement from Stephanie and I about the sew-along we're going to be running. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And I don't know what we're talking about on So Chatty next week. And then suddenly it'll be Stephen and Walter Live all over again. So anyways, thank you all for coming and listening to us. We mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Well, I do. Really, I get a kick out of this.
Actually, we have fun with it.
We have fun with this, so this is okay. So anyways, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you later on. Okay? Bye for now. Say goodbye, Walter.
Goodbye.